1989 Ford Escort XR3i, 1600 petrol injection, this one in white. Lovely looking car, this one. Bodyweight wise, we'll just start off the bonnet, work our way around this Escort onto the interior, and then we'll go for a cold engine startup. So, on the bonnet itself, lovely and straight, no major dings or dents, no nasty marks to the paintwork there. All nice and shiny across the bonnet there. It's very, very slight discrepancy between the bonnet and the scuttle. Nothing to complain about. Lovely and tidy across the scuttle with no rust coming through anywhere. Up and around the windscreen, all importantly, no nastiness there at all. As we come down onto the front left-hand side headlight and bumper corner, headlight itself crystal clear, indicator's good, so is the bumper corner. Plastics are all nice and tidy, the bumper fits nice and snug to the actual wing and grille itself. Right hand side again, nice and clear and tidy on the headlight and the bumper corner. A few little stone chips here and there, but that's all we need to complain about on the front bumper of this white XR3. As we come around the right hand side, got a little bit of a scratch towards the front there of the wing, very, very small scratch on the front of the wing. Coming around the arch, nice and tidy around the whole arch. With it being white, you would notice it a mile away. Got a little bit of a scuff there, but any rust you'd see from quite, from 10 paces back. Across the lower half of the sill section, all nice and white still. No nasty stone guard lines halfway up the door or anything like that. All nice and tidy across the sill section there. A few little light scuffs on the bottom of the sill there where people have been jumping in and out of the car and catching their shoes on the top of the sill. But apart from that, all nice and tidy. Got a little bit of polish, I think that is, or a little bit of paint flake just behind the body mold, but you wouldn't have noticed that if I hadn't shown you. Windwear cap's cracked free on the right hand side. The rest of that driver's door is lovely and tidy with only a few little blemishes at the top of the door there, which you can see there. That's the right hand side door. Around the handle lock and the back of the door, all nice and tidy. Up and across the roof, lovely and tidy across the roof. We've got a little bit of dust in the paint here and there, but nice and tidy across the roof with no corrosion across the front of the windscreen. And more importantly, no rust around the sunroof at all there. Lovely and tidy around that factory sunroof. Coming down onto the rear quarter, right hand side, lovely and straight across that whole rear quarter there. Lower half of the sill section is nice and tidy, and as you come around the arch, all very, very clean and tidy around the arch. One or two slight little blebs underneath the paintwork. Again, you wouldn't have noticed them if I hadn't pointed them out, but they're underneath the paintwork, so you can't really see them at all. Nice and straight around the fuel filler cap. And down that lovely, see how shiny and how straight it is down that right hand side. Onto the rear bumper corner, 2 or 3 very, very light marks there. As we come across the back bumper, it's lovely and straight all the way across to the left hand side. Again, a tiny little mark on the corner. Rear lights are nice and clear. The rear tailgate seems to be lovely and tidy all the way across there. I did notice a tiny, tiny little bleb right underneath the bumper and underneath the light there. Again, you can't see that at all until you're right up against it. Lovely and tidy across the boot there and around the lock. Spoiler's in nice condition as well. The rest of the boot's all lovely and tidy underneath the spoiler. And around that rear window, no corrosion coming through. It's a proper good, usable XR3. This that you'd be happy to put onto your local show with some pride to it. Nice and level, sits lovely and level, unmodified by the looks of it as well. Around the rear arch on the left-hand side, lovely and tidy, no corrosion coming through. And again, that quarter's nice and straight all the way down with no complaints there. Not a little blemish to the paint here and there. Across the lower half of the sill section again, no black lines halfway up the door or anything like that. Lovely and tidy up the passenger door around the locks and on the back edge. No chips there, no major dings or dents. The odd little more, a good polish, we get some of this odd little bit of engraved dirt here and there and a few little scuffs and the odd little stone chip. We're coming down onto the left hand side, front wing and around the arch, lovely and tidy once again. Lovely and straight down that whole left hand side. Very pretty car this. Interior wise now, driver's door card's nice and tidy. A little bit of sagging towards the back, which is pretty standard on these Escorts there. I've seen them where they're drooping right down. That's not too bad, that one. The cloth material on the door card's unripped, nice and tidy. A little bit of wear to the handle, but not bad. And even the window switches are still nice and bright as well. The right hand side, so this is the front driver's seat, nice and tidy on the bolster there. A little bit of creasing, which is to be expected, and a tiny little burn there on the back of the bolster, but apart from that, lovely and tidy on the insert swab as well. No complaints with that there. Steering wheel's nice and clean and tidy. Dashboard is uncracked. Down the centre console, all nice and straight there. Nice Ford head unit in there still with your speaker balancers at the bottom there, which is all lovely and tidy to see. not really messed with. Got some Lockwood dials there as well. Headlining's unmarked, really. No sagging at all, or nasty marks to the headlining. No damp patches around the sunroof there. Right hand seat folding forward to reveal that lovely unworn rear bench seat. Minimal wear, no rips, no tears or cigarette burns in the bench seat there. Into the boot now. James has got the boot carpet up so you can have a good look at that. Again, very, very tidy in there. No big rust patches I can see. Nice and dry as well. No complaints with that. Parcel shelves all intact. Boot carpet's nice with a few little stains to either side there. Onto the left-hand side front. And again, the door card's the same condition. Lovely tidy across the door card. A little bit more wear to the grab handle on the left-hand side there. A little bit of wear to that. And again, a little bit of sagging just starting there, but not bad at all on the armrest. Cloth section's all nice and tidy. The seat itself's in lovely condition there. Bit of a stain further back here, but no rips or tears to that bolster there. Insert swab's all nice and tidy. No complaints at all with that. No cigarette burns, no rips or tears there. Dashboard's nice and straight from the left-hand side. And again, this seat folding forward as it should to reveal a lovely bench seat from the left-hand side there. Again, minimal wear to that. Onto the interior now. Engine bay, sorry, it's been a long day. And so you've got some wax oil in there. James is going to fire into life for us. I've pulled start up to a couple of revolutions, which is not unnormal at all. It's what you sort of expect. It's taking over nice and happy. I'm not shouting on the phone, it's not tingling, it's not rattling, it's not banging. There you have it, that lovely, very usable, very fashionable at the minute as well. 1989 Ford XR3i in personally the best colour. White with the red little rub strips there. Nice interior, that one as well.